Oh yeah. Episode 23, yeah. Yeah. Lego. Come on. The case of a great producer and a fatal flaw. Is Bam Bam the X Factor for Mayday? Is it time for the return of Red Alert? Let us analyze the evidence on this episode of Bulldog Court. Bulldog community, please rise. This is your host, Get a Hold James, because we got to get a hold of the game.
Court is now in session.
So the next thing I know, I come in the room and she butt bookie naked with nothing on but a cowboy hat, some cowboy boots, and what looked like some blue blocker shades. So you know, I went hee-haw in that thing. Wait a minute, we recording now. This is your host, Get a Hold James. I'm sorry about that, but we got to get a hold of the game. Having a conversation about some other stuff. I'd like to thank everybody for showing up. I'd like to thank everybody for the commentary on last week. You underdid all the comments. Y'all know I be trying different ways to start the show off. I be trying different ways to come in and catch y'all off guard. But I appreciate everybody for checking out when we do the premiere on Saturdays. You know, all the people that come in, I appreciate it. And I appreciate the support. I appreciate all the commentary from last week. And now we're about to get into, we're not going to waste any time. We're going to get into, also too, I like to, send my prayers out and continue support for the twins and anybody else who might have had damage, had losses, you know, of animals during the hurricane and that were affected by the hurricane. Just keep scratching, hold your head. But we're about to get into the first case. And for the first case, a great producer and a fatal flaw. Let us get into this. First of all, shout out to J-Bo and Nonstop on Bulldogging with Bo, Dogman TV. If you have not checked it out, subscribe and follow, you know, and like or watch the show. Please get in now. And so there was a discussion they was having the other night. I wanted to continue that conversation, particularly about a dog called Inland Empire's or Honor Squad's Gunny, registered married. Now this dog primarily goes back to the Black Angel, you know, the grand champion, Spike Blood on pedigree. Some people say that Gardner's Gator or Gator and Doc Holliday were really off of Chinaman. Some people say they were off of Grand Champion Pedro. So, who's to say? One of them Tom Garner studs is the pappy. That's all we know. Is one of them Tom Garner studs at the time. They the pappy. So we gonna go by what it is. But either way, this particular line is known for throwing cold dogs, and that is the fatal flaw I'm talking about. The Gunny dog threw multiple champions in whatever square you could name. I repeat, he threw champions in whatever square you could name. He has champions to represent both styles or lifestyles. But the fatal flaw I'm talking about is the fact that he was a cold dog. That he was cold. But he's a registered merit and he produced champions in every way that you could imagine to throw a champion. Confirmation, etc., etc. Just to mention some of those champions You got Hard Heads champion Sin. You've got Honor Squad's champion Fat Boy. You know, you've got, the one I like the most is Inlet Empire's champion Bumper. And when you see how Bumper is bred, when I say I really, really love the way he bred, I mean, I really love the way that he's bred. So I'm going to put not only a picture, but his pedigree up here as well. You know, you probably can see on the bottom side that Hooten's pistol, you know, with the Black Angel stuff on top, the Cracker Jack, all different kind of Eli, man. Just, oh man, gotta love it. But, we see where a lot of people have different opinions, and I just want to ask the Bulldog community's opinion about a producing cold dog. I believe that Little Gator, I believe this would make him that his grandfather or great grandfather, Little Gator, was also a producing registered merit cold dog, if I'm not mistaken. Somebody double check that. But I was told that he was cold, but produced great warriors. And many people did not do what Mr. Wiseman said to do who had Little Gator, and that was not the type breed on Little Gator, because you're gonna get more of what he was and not the things that you want to see. So how do you approach breeding to a cold dog? Would you ever breed to a cold producing dog? Because I think there's a misnomer in some people's mind as dog men and women. They want to breed to the one with the record, the one that actually did everything that I needed them to do. But if they are not the producer, you wasted your time. The idea of breeding is to breed to the producer, to produce you what it is you're looking for. The idea is not to breed to a record. And I know a lot of people will say, well, you want to breed to the ones that produce with the record. That's true also. But somebody got to take a chance. Yeah. Somebody got to take a chance. Now, a lot of people wait for the kennel. And I think that's an oxymoron within itself, because a lot of people don't want to take that chance to be the first one to breed to the champion or grand champion that doesn't have any offsprings, because they've been, they're fresh off the trail. The kennel might have preferred to not breed him, or only breed him maybe once or twice, and keep all of the offspring, because they don't know what he's going to be, and they don't know what he's going to produce. So they hang on to it. But nobody really wants to take the chance on the outside when he's open for public stud to breed to him, because they don't know if he's a producer or not. They know he's a good dog, but they don't know if he's a producer or not. So they wait for the kennel that owns them to do the breedings and raise their stuff up and do their 1-2 with it. And then they'll breed their stuff to it. But I'm like, don't turn around and get mad or start saying stuff like, hey man, these people, they bred up these dogs and they had champions and grand champions, but man, they the only ones that got them. Hell, they were the only ones that bet on them, I guess. Really, literally and figuratively, they the only ones that betted on them. They the only ones that took a chance. So shouldn't they enjoy the fruits of their labor for taking a chance on that dog and taking a chance on breeding to him after they campaigned it? I mean, that sound crazy to me. To say, well, nobody else could get none. Nobody else, a lot of times, a lot of these dogs weren't as private as people might think. That's a misnomer also. A lot of that stuff, a lot of them old journals was filled with grand champions and champions that were open to anybody and everybody. If you got $500, in most cases to $1,000, because it wasn't as much as ridiculous as it is now. And all those dogs really did have records that you could research and look up. A lot of those people just didn't take the chance on those dogs. They didn't gamble. They were afraid to gamble and take that chance. Not the kennel that took the dog all the way. What are we saying? So when I look at a situation like this, I mean, like, really, what do you want? Do you want a dog that's going to produce you those type of dogs, or would you just prefer not to breed to that dog? I just want to bring this up. I just wanted to show this animal and get your thoughts and commentary on what you think would happen. What would you do if you owned a co-producing dog? You know, would you have never known that because you would have never bred him if he wasn't, you know, activated, he wasn't owned? Would you never have bred him so you would have never knew that he was a registered merit dog on your yard? You just would have probably gave him away to somebody or something, you know? Or would you have taken a chance? Would you have gambled on the cold dog and found out, oh my, surprise, surprise, you know? For the case of a great producer and a fatal flaw, this case is now dismissed. We'll get back to the show after these important messages.